everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Pathfinder Kingmaker. Okay, so here we are, after returning to our keep, and, well, you all saw how arduous our time was in the Valley of the Dead, and, well, we're thankful to be alive, to be honest with you. So, we had to do a few things between the last session and this one, and it took me not as much time as I thought it would, to be honest with you. We sold all the crap, we kept some stuff, we've had to basically level Harrim up and equip him with some stuff, because, well, he's gonna have to come along for the ride now, since Tristian's done a bunk on us with the Eye of Abaddon, or whatever the hell it was called. Turned traitor. She'll have to deal with him. So, yes, back with the miserable sod. Didn't think we'd see him in the party again, but hey, here he is, with his mallet of woe and his full plate, rather. He's got quite a few nice things. We've been very kind. Look at that. Headband of mental perfection. I mean, is Elquist drunk on Portops here? Anyway, here he is in all his splendour, about to join us. So we've sorted out the equipment as well that we had. We've only given, I think, Lindsay the belt of wisdom and dexterity, and that's about it, really. Everything else was pretty much no use to any of us, really. So yes, we're happy with that. And then we went shopping. We had 225,000 coins to spend, and as you can see, we've spent a fair few of them. 65,000 of them, to be precise. What on earth have we spent 65,000 coins on, you say? Well, debauchery in the tavern and the brothel. Lots of tips in the dance hall, I feel. But not 60-odd thousands worth, certainly not, maybe a couple of thousand. Some of those tavern and some of those brothel denizens thought all their birthdays had come at once when Elk was rocked up with coin pouches overflowing and bottles of port in hand. But no, we've bought supplies because we will never again be caught short in a dungeon. So we've got a fair few diamond dusts just in case we need to cast any restoration type spells. We've got some diamonds as well. We've also bought a bag of holding to carry the additional supplies that we're going to forever carry now, just in case we need them in an emergency. So never again shall we be caught short. And we've gone even further than that, because all that doesn't cost 60-odd thousand, does it? No, we have bought a scroll of resurrection, which in itself cost about 14,000, I believe. And this is a scroll that raises your companions like a raised dead, but unlike a raised dead, it restores them to perfection. Full hit points, full vigour, full health, and no loss of prepared spells. So it is literally the ultimate, raising dead. Raising dead, putting them into a perfect condition, just as they were before they popped their clogs, whereas Raised Dead instills a few penalties. So, Raised Dead and Resurrection for those emergency situations. We've also bought a few lesser restoration scrolls to restore temporary ability damage, of which we have a fair bit of wisdom damage at the moment, and we're going to look at getting into that very shortly. So these are useful for removing that. But we also have suffered with something a bit more severe than temporary hit point damage. We have also suffered permanent negative level damage. Permanent. Now, to remove permanent, you need the restoration spell or scroll. So we've got 4 restoration spells memorised with Harrim, and restoration restores 1 level of permanent negative level damage. So there's 2 spells required for Elquist, who's got 2 levels of it, 4 casts of it for Valerie, so that's 6, and I think Lindsay had some as well, just the 1, so that's 7. So we need 7 spells of restoration to restore these guys back to their full health. So in addition to the 4 that we have for Harrim, we've also got also scrolls of restoration as well for emergency use, and you don't need to use diamond dust supplies for this. So that should help us out when we need to restore permanent level effects in a dungeon. But whilst we can rest and Harrim can replenish those 4 spells, we're going to basically use Harrim to restore them. We're not going to waste the scrolls. These are for emergency use only. And then we've also purchased a Scroll of Greater Restoration ×2. This is the ultimate restoration scroll. It restores, as you can clearly see here, it restores pretty much everything that could ever happen to you. It creates temporary ability damage, such as the wisdom damage, all temporary ability damage, that's all of it. All points permanently drained from ability scores, so any permanent ability damage, which we haven't come across yet thankfully, but if we get permanent ability damage it restores all of that as well. And it also basically restores, where does it say it? All points, basically also all levels, here you go. All permanent and temporary negative levels. So, you know those 4 levels that she's got? Well, if that happens in a dungeon, we can restore all 4 of them with just the 1 scroll here. So again, these are to be used in an emergency only. So, yeah. Never again shall we be caught with our pants down in a dungeon. So saith Elquist. We'll see if that actually works out, or whether he slips up again. I've got a sneaking suspicion that it's all well and good now while the wounds are fresh, but in the future when the wounds subside and his memory fades, perhaps he may be caught short again in the future. We shall have to wait to see. So I'm assuming that that's as much as we need in terms of preparation for any eventuality that could happen to us in a dungeon. So the next thing I purchased to finish things off, I purchased some Trap Springer's gloves for Lindsay to give her some extra trickery skill checks, so I don't have to keep swapping around items in case Elquist fails. This is a quality of life thing. They were only about 4,000, I think. Eyes of the Eagle, because Elquist has heard rumours on the grapevine from party members and whisperings amongst his citizens that he's a bit blind. He always misses Lou. Always misses it. He's useless. Blind as a bat. Well, he's kind of slipped these into his pocket, and whenever there is a potential for there to be loot hidden away in nooks and crannies, he might wish to replace that hideous staghorn helmet with these little Eyes of the Eagle. Give himself a little boost to help him stop missing things, for example. So we'll put them in when the time is right. And the final thing, and I debated about this because it's not particularly in fitting with the kind of roleplay stuff that I like to do, but I saw it and I debated and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to use it because it's cool. And I do like it that the game tracks your alignment. I think it's really cool. We can see where Elquist's alignment has gone. It's gone from chaotic neutral here to kind of a whoosh up there. So I'm assuming by the end of the game, if we continue on the same scope, we're going to end neutral or chaotic good. Kind of maybe on the borderline of the two. If it was just alignment affecting him, or just a nice little fancy thing to track, I won't be bothered about using this scroll. However, it affects something very dear to my heart. And Elquist, I'm sure. And it affects what we can build in our city. For we have to have a chaotic alignment to build the dance hall. Was it the dance hall or the tavern, or both? One of them anyway. For us to enjoy the pleasures of the flesh. And so, in fitting with his jovial, happy-go-lucky kind of love for all things fun, I need to continue to be able to build those in our villages, towns and cities. And so this scroll is a scroll of atonement which absolves Elquist of his sins, if you can call being good a sin, and returns his alignment to chaotic neutral, which is what it was at first level. So there you go. I debated, and it's purely to keep ourselves able to build our beloved fun-filled buildings. Okay? Okay? You're not convinced, are you? Of course, well, it's tough, alright? Elquist is becoming far too neutral, apparently. Anyway. It's tied to your... do you know what? And I'm confused because it's tied to your alignment, isn't it? It's tied not to your alignment. The buildings that you can build are tied to your chaotic side, right? Chaotic or lawful or whatever. I think that's where the buildings come in. The good, neutral, and evil determines the look of the settlement. I think that was it. Anyway, regardless of the fact, Elquist will be casting this right now. Oh, look at that. It's casting neutral. Yeah, I mean, obviously it won't kick in until certain times in the game for it to put our settlement back into a chaotic state. So it's not going to be immediately recognisable, but at some point I'm hoping it will allow us once again to enjoy our lovely, lovely dance halls, no matter where we are in our realm. So there we go. And that's what I spent Elquist spent 65,000 on. Near enough. Was it worth it? Of course it was. So, one other thing before we continue on. This session is just like kind of a mop-up session from the last stream, really. We are going to continue on with a quest at the end of this spiel. I have cleared the messages from Kingdom Management, but I haven't sorted them out. So I thought I'd do that on camera. But we did have a problem, didn't we? We lost our beloved Chandra. The counsellor aborted us. I'm sure she badged it. She badged it as the fact that, oh, she had to go back to Saturva, duties and all that. You know, we've proved ourselves loyal, so her services are no longer required. Whereas I'm sure she got sick of Elquist rolling his eyes, shouting at her when he came back from the Valley of the Dead, and she's like, probably thinking to herself, this clown doesn't respect my decisions, he doesn't respect me, and therefore, do you know what, I've had enough. That's what happened, really, surely. But the only person that could act as counsellor is Donfear, and that's not happening, so we have to be counselorless for a little while. We had a new position open, the Grand Diplomat. Oh, very grand. And only Lindsay, Valerie, or Bartholomew Delgado could be in this position. Valerie's quite happy where she is, Bartholomew's quite happy where he is. Lindsay, on the other hand, was interchangeable. She could also be the Grand Diplomat. So what we did is, because the storyteller could replace Lindsay's role quite easily, it was a straight swap. Whether it's replacing Valerie's role or replacing... who was the other person I mentioned? Bartholomew's role would be a bit more problematic because there's no suitable replacement. Yeah, there's no suitable replacements for either of those roles, I seem to recall. And he's on a mission, so we couldn't swap him anyway. Bringing him in to replace her as a curator and switching her to the Grand Diplomat was the obvious choice. So a bit of a shuffle of the council. Cabinet reshuffle, but we're still missing a counsellor. So I don't know who can be a counsellor out of any characters that may return to us. I think somebody mentioned Jubilost might have been able to be of use at this point, but we don't want him here. So I don't know what we're going to do. There's one alternative, which I don't really wish to go down the lines of, but we might have to at some point if we can't find one, is we could create a mercenary character purely and simply to be a counsellor. So it's almost like I kind of liken that to placing an advert in the local billboard, you know, and going through an interview process, and whoever we create comes in as the counsellor. Of course, there's no benefit to doing that other than the fact that we're going to suffer a -4 mercenary penalty. As a way to kind of counteract that, we could give the person that we create as much wisdom as possible, because they're not going to be used as a party member, they're only a council member. Give them max out their wisdom to offset the mercenary penalty, and give them a wisdom headband to give them extra bonuses. So they'll won't be as good as like a specialist, like say a Mary at +6. That's not right. Okay, I thought she was a specialist. +4. Well, maybe we might be able to make a mercenary as good. So that's a potential option. Let me know what you think about that. I think it's not too bad. It's a recruitment campaign. We need a counsellor quite urgently, and I don't think we're going to get any more people here. I think we've got all our companions, so this is quite an issue. This is quite a serious issue indeed. I mean, we might be able to shuffle around. Maybe put Recogna here, and then put a Mary. But if they were available to be the counsellor, even if they're already engaged in another role, they would appear here. So we have literally nobody available that can do this. So, yeah, I'm thinking maybe in the next stream, I'll poll or ask you guys properly when you're all present, and we'll see whether or not we want to create a counsellor. I don't think it's completely, utterly a ludicrous thing to do. Anyway, events. We've got 4 of them. So, we've got a little bit of time on that one. That's a repeat, we've seen that before. That's the first of the first, so again, a bit of time on that one. Winged Menace. This is the first of the 12, so much less time on that one. So we'll a flock of rapacious harpies are terrorising the region, robbing peasants and attacking open markets and stripping jewellery off nobles. That sounds like a problem for Acundio, with a 45% chance of... That's far too low. I'm going to have to do a point of critical thingies. And this is peasants that are failing to pay their taxes. Bartholomew at a +12. Why, these checks are getting much more difficult. How many turns for Bartholomew to come back? I think it's 5 days. You've got time. It depends how long this quest takes. I'm going to use Bartholomew because he's got 12 in this, and it sounds like the kind of job that our money grabber the treasurer should take care of, right? So I think he's back in 5 days, yes. So we'll have him do that one, which means that we've got a bit of space here. So this is another problem, tipping the scales. But before we do that, a couple of things to do here. So a new phase in the life of our capital. We can now build our capital into a city. 200 BP. Which reminds me, I think I might wish to purchase about 350. Because why not? At 28,000, that's not a bad little deal. And let's go back to that. And let's do that. So we're now building ourselves, or expanding Topcliffe into a city. Oh yes. Training can't do. Curses can't do just yet. We've got the Varnhold Militia. Basically an independent force. We have to go back to Varnhold as well to build, or we need to do it in the Kingdom Management screen. We need to build a workshop for the person that came to us here. And I'm just thinking, if Varnhold is already a town ready-made for us, we might be able to build a teleportation tower there. I haven't checked this yet. Right, Mary, sort it out, love. Sort it out, Medea. 80 BP, 20 days to solve, not a problem. Do it en route to scouting up in Brevoy, wherever you're going to, the barbarian stuff that she's doing. So that's it. So that's done. Training can't do. Economy done. Which leaves some events spare. Right, tipping the scales. Pathfinders snuck into Death Valley. We saw this. We came across them. We want to find out what they're doing. 65% chance. I'm going to have to risk it. I can't afford to use crisis points on everything. And Nature's Rage, 70%. Sounds like a problem for Jord. So that's your kingdom management. So let's just quickly tick along. I can do most of the building work off camera, but I do want to check out, is Varnhold a town? It is. It's already got a piers and a wooden wall. It's got the Varnhold Inn, a named inn. It's got the fort, the windmill, the barracks, the shrine, the monument, the brewery, the herbalist house, the town hall, the foundry, and the trade shop. It's a he's not done a bad job, has he, old, what's his face, Magar? But not quite good enough, because there's a couple of things missing, isn't there? Let's be honest. There's a couple of things missing. There's a dance hall missing, for a start, but we can't get a dance hall just yet, because, hey, our cities are currently neutral, but hopefully they'll be back to chaotic soon enough. But there's a couple of things that are a priority, except, you know, notwithstanding the dance hall. So let's go down the list and figure it out, shall we? So what have we got? We've got the barracks, we've got the brewery. The barracks can be upgraded, the cistern can be upgraded, but brewery, no. Fair enough. Fort, we've got a fort, but not bothered about that. Herbalist house, not bothered about that. Jail, Kobold's quarters, library. Lighthouse we don't have, so let's have a lighthouse. The longhouse, we're not interested in, really. The monument, nah. We've got a piers, that can be upgraded to a marina. So where's that? That's here, right? Where's the piers? There it is. We can upgrade that to a marina. Yeah, let's do that. Have I got the BP to do it? Of course I have. Marina. Is it already a marina? Oh, it's already a marina. Did I do that? No, it must be in the process of being upgraded. Manually. It says marina. Doesn't it? But then it says here piers. Anyway, okay, fine. Shop. We don't have one. We've got a shrine. We've got a we don't have a tavern. Excuse me? What did you say? They've got an inn, though. So that's probably why. Maybe some of these are actually, like, specific. Quest-specific, maybe? Hence why they're kind of a little bit different. Monument, shrine, herbalist house. So can we upgrade the Varnhold Inn? No, it's a specific inn. Okay, well, we'll leave that as it is. We could actually build a tavern next to it, which is kind of strange. But we'll use that as the main inn. There's a fort there. There's a trade shop. That's already a shop. Of course, we will be shipping across lots of poor tops to be sold here. Varnhold will not be excluded from that lovely delight. And Watchtower. Oh, so we don't have to build a shop for the lady. Maybe we just have to complete that quest that we're doing in Kingdom Management. Or maybe we have to visit her here and speak to her first. I don't know. We'll do the Kingdom Management quest first and see whether or not that triggers anything. The militia, you know, the Varnhold militia one. But in the meantime, there is certainly one thing that has to be built here, and that is a Mage's Tower. We want to be able to teleport to this side of the map, because travelling to here on foot is quite a schlep. Through the Camelands, through Silverstep, into Varnhold, and of course, don't forget that once we have done the main quest, that is now being thrust upon us without even a moment's pause for breath, we're going to want to do our grand tour of Varnhold. We're going to want to do our grand tour of Dunsward, so we need access to this land quickly. So Mage Tower definitely on the menu. Right. So that's Kingdom Management sorted, upgrading Topcliffe to a city, Mage Tower in Varnhold, people have been put to good use, and we have a new Grand Diplomat, and a new Curator, our beloved Storyteller. So, yeah, we're just looking for a Councillor now. So what's left on the agenda? Well, quests. So I kind of Googled, not to spoil the quest, but I just wanted to find out whether we had to get to this quest as soon as possible or whether we could dither and dally. It kind of indicated the game that we couldn't dilly and dally because, you know, they sound quite urgent. A betrayer has run off, so you want to catch him quite quickly, and I'm assuming this betrayer, of course, is going to be Tristian, the clue in the title of the quest, I believe. The Hour of Rage is to do with, of course, the barbarians. Now, from a roleplay perspective, two things. First of all, we're not the best of mates with Lady Jamandi Aldori. She tried to play us for a fool from the very first moment we kind of met, really, using us for her own ends, sent us on our mission to Death Valley, as I'm now calling it. And, you know, she just seems very selfish. Apart from the fact that they are paying us a weekly stipend kind of thing. You know, they're giving us money every time to help us build our kingdom up. So, but that's just bribery money, really. It's not out of the goodness of their hearts, is it? Let's be honest. So we're not too fussed in getting that done. However, a returning bloom, where we have seen the effects of the bloom from the first instance and how devastating it was to our lands, is quite urgent. And not only that, but it was recommended by Chandra, whose counsel we hold dear to our heart, but also because Elquist is very clever, somehow he's put two and two together and thought to himself, Tristian has shown his true nature. We need to find him. He's linking this kind of happening to Tristian, because Blooms involved portals and Tristian teleported through a portal, didn't he? So it's got to be a link there, surely. So we're off to Candlemere, folks, and we're off to Candlemere now. Oh yes, we are. No messing about, my friends. No messing about. We're off onto another main quest. Chapter 4 was literally thrust upon us without any downtime, which is in stark contrast to the last chapter, where we had about 6 months of downtime. And now that we have places to explore, and we want downtime to explore them, we're not getting it. But anyway, such is the nature of the game. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow. Right, let's see what's happening here. So the first thing we've got to do, though, before we do anything else, is you've got to try and help get rid of this negative level effect and some of this wisdom damage. So, before we go to Candlemere, which isn't that far away, we're going to stop off in Narville, en route to our destination, so that we can actually cast some spells and sort our formation out and stuff. Excellent. Right, so whilst we're here, we are going to cast with Harim. And I haven't sorted their inventories out, or their hot bars. That's the one thing I haven't sorted out. Oh, I do apologise. This is going to be something that we'll have to use the long way around for spells until I sort his hot bar out. Where's Restoration? It's a level 4 spell. Right, who had the least? Was it Lindsay? So it also helps because Restoration gets rid of temporary ability damage and 1 level of negative level, so that's pretty useful. Right, Elquist next. So he should have 1 negative level left, which isn't crippling to him. 4 levels for Valerie is a bit more crippling, so we're going to give Valerie the next 2. So Valerie should now be -2. Elquist should be -1. That's about doable. And these two have got negative negative ability damage. So we have just the tonic. We have just the tonic for that situation. When I get my inventory open. Lesser Restoration, of course. Which Elquist shall sort out now. And another one is required. Maybe even another 2. I mean, these lesser restoration scrolls are very cheap. I should have probably got about 20 of the damn things. But there we go. So we have now basically removed all effects apart from these last two. But when Harim rests next up, he'll have another 4 casts of restoration, and then we can be good to go. No need to rest now, though. Time is of the essence. And I'm hoping that the negative level effect won't be too detrimental to our progress in Candlemere. What's happened? What's going on? The Grand Diplomat wants to talk. Well, I'm rather busy, I'm afraid, Lindsay. As you well know, you're with me, for God's sake. Was that a new thing that's just happened? I think it was, you know. Oh, and Mary's gone. Recogna, go back in. You're going to have to take point. And Mary has vanished. Uh-oh. Oh, things are going rather swimmingly, aren't they? My God. I don't think I should proceed any further. Right, well this is where the portal was last time. I'm assuming that's where the portal will be this time. Hopefully without too many enemies in our way, because we have faced far
in due time.
Many numbers already, and we really do wish for a nice easy finish. We're going to change the formation slightly. We're going to have this nice little hexagon shape. This hexagonal shape. Look at that. How fantastic is that? Look at beautiful formation. Right, Harim, how many channels does he have? 5. He's no Tristian, is he? It's better than none, I suppose. Let's, oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? Oh, no. What's happened? It's a dreamer cat. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to avoid as many things as possible, which is not kind of conducive to levelling up, is it, really? Let's be honest. But, hey. Oh, flipping hell. What's going on? Oh, we've got loads of dreamer cats. And another dreamer cat there. I don't think these creatures are particularly nasty. Dreamer lions are. Oh, an owl. That's a regular owl. Oh, that's just a regular owlbear. It's still level 14, let's be honest. Okay, this is the true test now. Do we need buffs for this? I don't think so. Could really have done with mage armoring him. Let's do that now. Okay.
That is not far.
So of course we've got Harim, who's on our melee fighter as well. So we got quite a lot of melee fighters going to be jostling for position. In terms of Harim's level, look, we've just given him selective channel, which helps with the channeling situation. It means that we don't interfere with ourselves if we're trying to injure the enemy, or we inadvertently do other stuff to the enemy that we don't want when we're trying to heal ourselves, such as heal them as well. So selective channel, and also something else.
As it
Outflank, because he's a melee combat, so we want to give him that extra bit of damage. Oh, what the hell is that? Quickwood. We better burn that down. Burn that down now. Right, Ballerine first.
To victory!
Okay, maybe dog in first then. Okay, that's a miss. I love Elquist attacks. Elquist and Knock Knock together pump out some really good damage. As soon as Elquist gets that same ability that Knock's got to give him an extra attack of opportunity when attacking melee an enemy in combat, like Knock's got. That's going to be even more insane. It'll be doing like 60 damage with one attack. It's pretty good, isn't it? Okay, that's Owlbear City here. So remember to continue saving here. Kind of not happy with the dog running in first. He's not really the best person for doing that. Maybe we should actually put Valerie up front and the dog slightly behind to account for his speed. Yeah, okay, if I could be bothered I probably would, but right now I'm more interested in getting round. Now we could take a shortcut, but we'll actually take the long road, just simply to make us encounter a few more of the enemy, thin the herd a little bit, and there's 4 of them. So what we're going to actually do on this one is we will use a little bit of Inspire Courage, just a little bit. Get Valerie. Definitely get Valerie in first here. Definitely get Valerie in first. Definitely get. Attack! No, God's sake! That's bad.
Serves you right.
What are they doing? My God, how horrible creatures. Poor Lindsay. Does she look like dreamer cat food to you? Maybe she does. She's only a small morsel. A bit of an amuse-bouche. Oh, look at that. We didn't open that last time. We can open it now. It's got nothing useful in it, I bet. But hey. Oh, now we've got... Get out of my way! I'm going to find loot! In a chest that I didn't open last time. Shambling mat. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm listening.
That's fine. No, no, no. Stop. Stop. Now go. Okay. Well, this is rather more satisfying than the undead, the Dead Valley thing. We can autopilot it a little bit for now, which is sometimes a welcome change of pace from the constant feeling like you're going to pull your hair out and you want to slit your wrists in horror at how painful things are. But no, in all fairness, it did make for some gripping stuff for the old Valley of the Dead, didn't it? And I always say that when it is that genuinely that tough, it makes victory all the sweeter. Right, we should be able to open this now. Hey, a lovely warhammer. That's what I've always wanted. A noble warhammer. +3 warhammer. Could be one for... Oh, he's taking a few blows. Let's utilise some of these spells. Put that back. A couple of these.
Ready for anything.
I don't think that's going to do much. 24 damage? 24 heal? Not really. But it'll do for now. A little top up. Climb the hill. Oh, we're already here. That was quick. What are we on? We're on 39 minutes. Plenty of time to talk to whoever's at the top of here. We're assuming Tristan at this point. We could be wrong.
Follow my lead.
How forgiving is Elquist feeling right now? Aha! Well, kill surprise! Tickle me pink! Who has stood here gawping so innocently? Like butter wouldn't melt. Tristan, explain yourself!
Why did you come here?
His face is a mask of grief and desperation. Why do you think I came here, you idiot?
Who do I see in front of me? A friend who made a mistake? Or an enemy slipping on a mask of a friend?
I should break your neck. Actually, that's not too dissimilar from the truth. I don't want that to influence, like, actually us breaking his neck. It's what we should do. But more importantly, give me what you took from Vordakai, you traitor!
No. The Oculus of Abaddon is an evil artifact capable of revealing what is hidden. I would destroy it once and for all, but I can't do it. My mistress demands it.
Mistress? Who is this mistress?
No. You don't need to know that. Neither you nor any mortal can confront the one that controls me. Your only chance to survive is if you flee now and leave the stolen lands behind. This is all I can do for you now.
Excuse me? What would... Oi! Christian! Come here, you come here, you traitor! Don't you run away from me! Ah! What the hell's this? Oh, we've come too close! Run away, squishies! God! Things are coming from the portal! Ah!
You deserved it.
Knock, help us!
Not used to lighting enemies on fire first.
I don't... Ah! Lindsay! Come hither! Come hither! We have a situation! We're getting spawn things coming quickly.
Let us strike as one.
What's going on here? Don't you run away from me, you foul creature!
I grant you death.
Okay, it's okay. We're fine. Now what's happening? Okay, let's be ready for more teleportations. It's a giant fly trap. It's fine. Let's just keep killing them as they come through. Not on my watch this time shall there be creatures attacking us. Or our barony. Explore the Temple of the Elk Bloom. What? What Temple of the Elk Bloom? How do we know it's the Temple of the Elk Bloom? Well, Tristan is proving to be a rather slippery fish. I mean, we may have forgiven him had he have held his hands up and given us the Eye of Abaddon, and everything will be fine. But the fact of the matter that he's now defied us a second time and has fled again is making it less and less likely that we are actually going to forgive him, which is rather painful because he's a much better healer than this miserable swine. But, I mean, seriously, I can't see a way back from this for him. Anyway, apparently we need to head to the Temple of the Elk. Perhaps, maybe we saw it in the portal. We have been there before, so perhaps we recognised it through the portal. But we know the roads of the barony well. So we need to go there right now and catch him. So that seems like a job for the next session, because we're about 45 minutes in. So in the next session, we head swiftly as possible to the Temple of the Elk to see if we can catch up with Tristan and hopefully get him to see sense. And then the ultimate question will be, my friends, what on earth are we going to do with him when he finally caves in and sees sense? Even I don't know. It's going to all depend on the nature of the conversation and the options that are available to us, really. So even I'm in the dark, to be honest with you. So, yes, and I'm quite aware also that depending on which quest you picked first out of the two that we had, either this one or the Barbarian one, you get a different outcome to either quest. So if we picked the other one first, we would have had a different outcome in this one. If we pick this one first, we get a different outcome in the Barbarian one. I don't know what the outcomes are, but I'm guessing that it involves, because both quests involve one companion each, and Mary's on that one, Tristan's on this one. I'm assuming that we've probably screwed Mary over, to be honest with you. I'm hoping not, but seeing as we picked this one, perhaps she's going to suffer some malady. I'm hoping we don't lose her, but we'll have to wait to see. So, yes, much smoother today than has been the past couple of streams, but I got no doubt things will get choppy again before much longer. But anyway, until next time, and we head out on this wild goose chase, I'll see you soon.